And our next coach, we just heard him say hello, is Monmouth head coach Kevin Callahan. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Mark. How are you doing today?
We're doing fine. Hawks with a valiant effort to try to come back and beat Holy Cross. Just fell a little short in the opener. Back on heading on the road to Central Michigan in the first FBS game in school history. And we'll open up talk about the game against Holy Cross, and we'll start taking questions and talk about the chips.
Well, the Holy Cross game, unfortunately we got off to a slow start on both sides of the ball. We found ourselves behind 14-3 after the first quarter. It was a first quarter where we really weren't in sync on either side of the ball and gave up some big plays defensively and really weren't able to extend drives and get the ball in the end zone on offense. And then as we continued, we kind of got our way back into it, but ultimately it was, too many mistakes to win a football game. We were -4 in turnovers, and that's something that, historically we've been very good at, being on the plus side in that statistic. And, when you're -4 in turnovers and you have 8 or so penalties, it's very difficult to win. And that was the case on Saturday. And that's not to take anything away from Holy Cross. They played a very good football game. They played a mistake-free football game. And that's ultimately why they beat us on Saturday. So coming out of that, there's a lot of areas where we need to improve. There's a lot of things that we can do better. But we did have some pretty good performances. Levon Chaney continued to be a standout for us on offense, rushed for 99 yards on 20 carries, had another 31 yards receiving. We're very happy with that. Darren Ambush, first time as a starter on the offensive side of the ball, caught 6 passes for 106 yards, so we were happy with that. And Cody Williams is a sophomore, a redshirt freshman quarterback playing in his first ever college football game. Had some first game jitters at first, but was able to settle down and make some plays for us as we got into the third and fourth quarter. So, we've just got to continue his maturation process and continue to help him find his comfort level on the field, because I think he's going to be a very productive player for us. And over on the defensive side, Mike Basile picked up where he left off in 2014, had a game-high 10 tackles and 2 pass breakups, and, was all over the field for us, and was happy with what Demetrius Smith in the defensive line brought. He had 7 total tackles on the day, 5 of which were solo. So, we had some very good efforts. We just didn't play a complete enough game, a solid enough game where we executed across the board in order to win. And so we're a lot of work to do this week as we get ready for, as you said, our first ever FBS opponent in Central Michigan. We make the trip out there this weekend, and watching them on video, they're an excellent football team. They ended last year with a heck of a game against Western Kentucky in the Bahamas Bowl, where they came from 35 points down, brought it right back and went for 2 points at the end of the game, and unfortunately didn't get it. And then last Thursday night, they opened their season against a very good Oklahoma State team, and it was a game where they went toe-to-toe with them right to the very end. They're very, very good on both sides of the ball. They play very firm, aggressive defense. Very impressed with their defensive front. And they've got a safety who's an outstanding player. And then on the offensive side, the quarterback does an outstanding job of really leading that offensive unit, and he's extremely productive. So, we've got a lot of improvement to make from our own end, and then we know we've got a heck of a challenge on Saturday.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. At this time, we'll move to questions for Monmouth head coach Kevin Callahan. To ask a question, please press *1 on your phone at any time, or click the Q&A link near the top of your browser and click raise hand if you joined us via the web. And Coach, while we're waiting for a question or two, talk a little bit more about Cody Williams, just kind of winning the games, and he kind of settle down and start performing as well as he did.
Well, it was after the half. The first half, I think the whole emotion of his first start, and the fact that it was the first time playing in a college football game, I really think things were happening very fast for him out there. And it wasn't until the second half that the game slowed down for him, and he was actually seeing his progressions and seeing what was going on the field. He seemed to be very rushed during the first half of the game, and and everything about it. His mechanics, his procedure, his footwork, everything was rushed. It caused them to drop a snap, causing a turnover on the 5-yard line. It set Holy Cross up in really good position, and they end up scoring on that to make it 21-3 in the second quarter. But then he came back in the second half and really led some very impressive drives for us. One, it was unfortunate. We had to settle for a field goal and didn't get in the end zone. Another one we turned over on downs, but they were both 12-plus play drives. And during those drives, he made a lot of plays throwing the ball and also with his feet running the ball. So, he has the tools, he has the skills, and now he has a game experience under his belt. So we're looking for much improved play come this Saturday.
Thanks, Coach. Now time to turn to questions for you. We do have one in the queue right now. Don't have a name, but it's based up in Long Branch with a 732 area code. So just introduce yourself before your question, Coach, and you can begin.
Hi, sorry for that, Mark. It's Eddie Acapinti with the Monmouth Digital Network, and thought I kind of cleared that up online. That's my fault. Coach, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning, Ed.
Coach, obviously broadcasting the game Saturday, we saw what you just explained about Cody and how he came along, and I want to turn to the defensive side too. Holy Cross had a fast start, but then it looked as though the defense really settled in and really controlled a really good dual-threat quarterback in Peter Pujols after kind of the first quarter and a half or so, and just talk about what you saw from a defense that seems to be evolving with players in different spots and making plays, some younger guys stepping up too.
Well, Ed, it was that's exactly what happened. I think we still are a very young team on the defensive side. We're a young team overall, Ed. We only have 4 players out of our starting 22 who are in their final year of eligibility. And I think on the defensive side, we were just a little out of sync in the beginning. And once we settled them down and told them, hey, this is nothing different than what we've practiced, they began to get some stops. And with the stops, they grew more and more confident. And as we got into the third and fourth quarters, it was a very confident group. They started the second half, I think, 4 3-and-outs, and we're giving the ball back to our offense in good field position. And really what I was impressed with is twice in the second half, they had to take the field with very short fields caused by a turnover, and they were able to hold up and not let Holy Cross in the end zone and force them to come away with field goals. So I was impressed with their resolve in those situations. So it looks to me like it's a group that learned on Saturday. It's a group that gained some confidence from how they played in the final 3 quarters of the game, and hopefully that confidence will carry over, and they will continue to develop into a firm unit.
Coach, I appreciate that. And just one final one for me. Just as the only coach in program history to go from non-scholarship football in 1993 to playing an FBS team, just talk about how big this coming Saturday is for the program moving forward.
Well, it's certainly indicative of certainly another step, another milestone for Monmouth football. I think every couple of years or so the program has taken a major leap forward. Back in 2013 when we announced we were joining the Big South was a significant step for us as it allowed us to increase the number of scholarships, and we're still working on that, but also improve facilities. And now we're able to play an FBS opponent. So our guys are excited about that. The guys in our program are looking forward to it. And all the guys who have been a part of Monmouth football, are very proud of the path that the program is taking.
Coach, appreciate it. Good luck Saturday.
Thanks, Eddie.
Thank you, Eddie. And, Coach, I'm not seeing any more questions in the queue, but I'll just make one last final call announcement in case someone's entered and is not appearing. Any final questions for Monmouth head coach Kevin Callahan? All right, hearing none, Coach, we'll let you go. Thanks for joining us, and good luck Saturday at Central Michigan.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it.